The News 4 Rundown starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the News 4 Rundown. I'm Sean Yancey. It is Tuesday, July 14th. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following for you tonight. A bill to keep concert ticket prices in the district low. The new protections in place to ensure you don't overpay for your next show. Plus, we have some major heat headed our way. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Kammer is tracking just how hot it will get over the next few days. Also, the French ambassador's residence in Northwest D.C. underwent a new makeover just in time for Bastille Day. We'll take you inside as they prepare for a big celebration. But we begin tonight with a deadly plane crash in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. The 78-year-old pilot was the only person on board the small single-engine plane. It happened right across the street from a small airport. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder is following this story for us tonight.
Sad story tonight in Spotsylvania County, where a 78-year-old man was killed when a single-engine plane crashed maybe 300 yards away from the runway. You can see the plane is still down in the parking lot of a business across the street from Shannon Airport. Take a look at what Chopper 4 saw not long after the plane crashed just after 11 o'clock this morning. The NTSB says it is investigating this plane crash involving a Montana coyote, which, according to the NTSB and looking it up online, it's a two-seat single-engine plane that's designed for amateur construction. Basically, you can order the parts for one of these things and then build it yourself. Virginia State Police say the pilot was 78-year-old Roland Babcock Jr. from Ruther Glen, Virginia. That's about halfway between Fredericksburg and Richmond. It's unclear right now whether the plane was taking off or landing at Shannon Airport, but we did talk with a guy who works at the business where this plane crashed. His name is Mark Carter. He says he heard the boom, ran out of work to see if he could help the pilot, but he said once he got there, it was too late.
So the adrenaline rush, I mean, it was just like, I don't know, just going, I know it's going crazy through my mind. I didn't have time to think of anything. You know, I just run there and see what something I could do to get him out or help him out or something. Like I said, I didn't have time to think about it. I just run down and see if I could help the guy.
The NTSB is investigating the cause of this crash. Typically, the NTSB will release a preliminary report within 30 days. Once we see that report, of course, we'll update you on what happened here today in Spotsylvania. Reporting in Spotsy, Drew Wilder, News 4.
Chopper 4 was over the scene of a house fire in Gaithersburg. According to fire investigators, at least one person was hurt in this fire on Calypso Place. We're still working to learn more about how the fire started and the extent of the victims' injuries. More than 55 firefighters were called out to battle the blaze. Tonight, we're also hearing from the mother of a young woman killed in a violent car crash in Prince George's County. Adriana Maxwell was returning from a concert in a rideshare early Sunday morning when the car she was in collided with a motorcycle on Route 301 in Upper Marlboro. The two people on the motorcycle were also killed. Neighbors told us they've been fighting for a traffic light at that intersection for years. As News 4's Darcy Spencer reports, Maxwell's mother believes if a traffic light had been there, her daughter's life may have been spared.
I just want everybody to know that her life was taken too soon for carelessness. And she was a beautiful mom of an 18-month-old, and she still had a lot of life to live.
Carlita Maxwell got the news no parent is prepared to hear. Her daughter, 22-year-old Adriana Maxwell, died in a car crash.
This is one of the hardest things that I'm having to do, and I'm just lost for words because she was everything. She was my only child.
Maxwell was returning from the Chris Brown Usher concert at Northwest Stadium early Sunday morning. She was in the back seat of a rideshare when they collided with a motorcycle. The driver and passenger on the motorcycle also died. Maxwell was just a few minutes away from her boyfriend's home.
And he informed me that he had been trying to reach her and send her messages and calls after, and she wasn't answering, but he told me that her last message was at around like 12:40-ish, and she just told him that I'm about to turn.
The motorcycle was traveling south on 301. The rideshare was turning left onto Governor's Park Drive. Maryland State Police say the rideshare driver failed to yield the right-of-way. The motorcycle slammed into the passenger side.
News 4 has learned that residents here in this nearby community called Balmoral have been fighting for years to get a traffic light here at this intersection. But as you can see, it never happened.
I don't care if it's the state of Maryland or Prince George's County. It just needs to be done.
Why wouldn't you want to put a light? Because having that light there may have saved her life. And it could have saved the other people's lives also.
The Maryland Highway Administration tells News 4 a left turn lane will be installed on the northbound side. Design is 90% complete. Ground is expected to be broken by the end of the year. While we don't know if speed was a factor in the crash, Maxwell has this message for drivers.
I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And the only thing that I can ask is that people slow down, because wherever you're going, it's going to be there. But now my daughter's life is gone.
In Upper Marlboro, Darcy Spencer, News 4.
All right, here's a look at some of the other stories we're following tonight. A military helicopter remains grounded in northwest D.C. after it made an emergency landing last night. It's in a field near Foxhall Road and the German embassy. The crew landed around 9:30 p.m. after they heard some concerning sounds coming from the chopper. A spokesperson told News 4 a maintenance crew is actively working to fix the helicopter. The reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial is empty once again tonight. The Trump administration said the pool was drained to fix the pool's lining after they say it was vandalized. NBC News crews did not find any evidence of the 300-yard gashes that the president claimed vandals made to the lining. The reflecting pool is set to be closed until at least August 10th. Crews are making progress on the DuPont Circle deck-over project. Several beams are now in place that will support a brand-new pedestrian plaza. Here's what the space will look like once it's completed. The $35 million project is on schedule to be finished next spring or summer. DDOT said a minimum of one travel lane will be open at all times for vehicles during construction. D.C. is cracking down on rats. The city launched an interactive map that shows the city's largest rodent hotspots, and now you can report those rodents with a single phone call. The city is also deploying rodent-resistant trash cans as part of a new pilot program. The first rollout will begin with high-traffic public parks and areas around D.C. public schools. All right, going to shows and concerts in the district could soon be more affordable. Today, the D.C. Council unanimously passed an anti-scalping bill. It limits how much resellers can mark up tickets, and this all comes as the separate issue of pricing for original tickets has also been scrutinized in recent years. Multiple states, including the district, are suing Ticketmaster. News 4's Amy Cho explains how this will affect your wallet.
Well, the issue of ticket prices is a super complicated one, with a lot of different players essentially blaming each other as to why things are so expensive. But it seems pretty much everyone agrees something needed to be done. As the district aims to make shows cheaper and crack down on platforms like StubHub.
They're really taking money out of your pocket and making it so people are spending way too much money for a ticket.
First, some quick background on the world of ticket sales. There are two types of sellers. The first is primary sellers, like Ticketmaster, which is owned by Live Nation. And then you have secondary resellers. Ticketmaster also does that. And then you also have platforms like StubHub, Vivid Seats, and SeatGeek. Some concert venues and lawmakers say the secondary market is the reason resale tickets are so expensive.
When a $40 ticket is been scooped up by a scalper and then resold for $500, and all that money leaves D.C., that's a bad thing.
The new D.C. Council bill is called Restricting Egregious Scalping Against Live Entertainment, or resale. It bans bought scalpers, speculative tickets, which is where people or companies sell tickets they don't have yet, and surveillance pricing, where websites use your data to decide how much to charge you. The bill also puts a 10% price cap on resale tickets. Resellers would have to reveal the original price they paid, and anyone who resells 50 or more tickets must register as a business with the district.
We want folks who are buying tickets to be protected from being gouged.
However, the trade group that represents resellers like StubHub says it believes the bill will only drive scalping underground.
At the end of the day, fans lose, Ticketmaster wins. Fraud and scams will skyrocket. Prices are not going to get cheaper at the box office, and fans are going to have less access to the live events that they love.
The reseller trade group also says it believes the primary market is the problem, and that prices are so high because of Ticketmaster. Back in April, a federal jury ruled it was an illegal monopoly. There will be a separate trial in the future to figure out what the penalties will be. Now, the Resale Act will go into effect in January after it passes the congressional review period. Now, separately, in other ticket-related news, D.C. recently sued Ticketmaster, the primary seller, accusing them of hidden fees and countdown timers that created fake pressure to buy. Ticketmaster ended up settling for $9.9 million. Most of that money will go towards customer refunds. Now, Ticketmaster points out they had already started showing the full price upfront in 2023 before the D.C. lawsuit. The company says it applauds the Resale Act and that it supports common sense reforms and banning deceptive practices. All of this, of course, coming at a time when affordability is top of mind for so many people. Back to you,
Amy. Thank you. Still to come tonight on the News 4 Rundown, France and Spain battled it out in today's World Cup semifinals. So who came out on top and how are fans celebrating? But first, let's check back in with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Kammerer.
And yeah, it was a very hot day today, but nothing like what we're going to see during the day tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect for the entire area. I'm going to break it down for you and show you how long the heat wants to stick around coming up.
All right, we now know one of the two teams that will face off in this year's FIFA World Cup final. Spain dominated France today and punched their ticket to the championship match. NBC's Candace Sweat joined us now live from Dallas Stadium tonight. Candace, this was a battle between two heavyweights. Give us the feel.
Incredible. The energy is spilling out of Dallas Stadium and onto the field. All along, Spain fans have been incredibly confident in what their team could do. And honestly, can you blame them? Because if no one else believes in you, your fan base has to believe in what you can do, and that's exactly what they did. As for France, a little bit of disappointment here. They just could not pull it off. But it would have been their third straight trip to the final game. And so, of course, fans here leaving the stadium a little bit disappointed. We were able to speak to both sides, Spain and France, and here's what those fans had to say.
The way Spain plays soccer is the most beautiful art of football. That's what we're looking for.
I'm very excited. I haven't seen this country play that well in so long, and there was definitely been some rough patches. But I'm glad they made it to the finals.
Hey, honestly, we all were shocked, but we had so much pride in our team. We knew they were going to come out. Everyone thought France was going to win, but the underdogs always make it to the top.
All right, so Candace.
And so the energy is incredibly electric. Like I said, tens of thousands of fans spilling out of the stadium onto the Dallas streets.
All right, Candace, we have the big final matchup that will be coming up. We know this. We know Argentina is going to be back playing England tomorrow. Who are you going to be rooting for?
Oh, my goodness, that's hard to say. I feel like, you know, these are two incredibly dominant teams. I tell you what, though, the Spain fans are letting this win and this confidence carry them into that final match, the World Cup game. And they say, hey, no matter who we face, bring it on. Sean, back to you.
It's going to be an exciting game to watch for sure. Candace, thanks so much. Have fun down there. Stay cool down there in Dallas. We appreciate it. And you can, of course, watch tomorrow's World Cup semifinal match live on Telemundo. Coverage begins at 2:30 with the match starting at 3. It's going to be a good one. Now let's check back in with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Kammerer ahead of some major heat coming our way. Doug?
Yeah, I was loving that game by Spain, by the way. I mean, the fact that they really took it to France. That was kind of unexpected. France was supposed to be winning that game, but Spain, way to go. Viva España. All right, what are we doing out there right now? We've got the sun going down, and you notice that haze in the atmosphere, that cloudy smoke. Yeah, that is actually Canadian wildfire smoke, and we could see it tomorrow. And really on Thursday, I'm interested to see how much we see on Thursday. 89 degrees out there right now, a little bit of a feels-like temperature of 92. Current temperatures area-wide, everybody's in the 80s to around 90. 90 Martinsburg, 88 Leesburg, Manassas, and Culpeper. Patuxent River coming in at 84. But the heat index still a factor. Nothing like where we're going to be tomorrow. Heat index tomorrow close to 100 to 105. Today, we got to 97 in the city, but now 92, 91 at Dulles, and 96 up towards Middletown. Okay, here's the heat advisory in effect for the day tomorrow. And includes everybody here in the orange. Heads up once again, another very hot day tomorrow, but the heat index should get close to 105. That's when you get a heat advisory, and that's why we have that from the National Weather Service tomorrow. Nothing on the radar picture. We continue to stay dry. Going to stay dry for the rest of this week, too. No chance of storms tomorrow. On Thursday, don't expect any. Friday, most likely not. But Saturday is going to be an interesting day to watch for. I do think we'll have severe weather there, but look what we've got. Not much in the way of clouds at all from New York all the way back towards Omaha, Minneapolis, back towards Rapid City, South Dakota. This is the intense heat that's building in the country and working its way towards the east, and it will continue to work its way our way right on into the day tomorrow and into the day Thursday as well. This will also, again, bring down some of that wildfire smoke from Canada that could actually keep our temperatures a little bit cooler by a degree or two. So maybe we don't hit 100 on Thursday, but that's still where we're going for now. Future feels like starting off the day tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we're in the mid to upper 80s during the day, 88 degrees by 9 o'clock in the city. Working our way between 100 and 105. That's why we have the heat advisory in effect for the day tomorrow. We're going to continue to see that heat once again into the day on Thursday, too. 100 degrees on Thursday is where I'm going. Neither of those are records, but they're just shy. 96 on Friday and then 93 on Saturday. Good chance of strong to severe storms on Saturday, another chance of storms on Sunday, and then next week closer to or even below average by the time we end next week.
Thank you, Doug. Well, today is Bastille Day, the French national holiday that commemorates the storming of the Bastille, a pivotal event in the French Revolution. To mark the occasion and the lasting friendship between France and the U.S., a special celebration is happening tonight. The French residence in Northwest D.C. is opening its doors after an extensive renovation. Our Erica Gonzalez got a first look inside.
One of the most prominent and recognizable homes in Calorama is that of the French residence. I'm Erica Gonzalez. 2 years ago, we brought you inside for Christmas on Embassy Row. Now we're back for a tour of an incredible renovation on the heels of Bastille Day, America 250, and a World Cup celebration as well.
Hi, Erica.
Ambassador Billy, wonderful to see you again. Thank you so much for the warm welcome.
As you can see, since your last visit, we have done a lot of work. The idea was to celebrate America 250 in a very grand manner, very French. So one of the first pieces that we managed to achieve was these tapestries. They are from Paul Vera, so 1930s, and they are part of a group of 4, like is our flag that you can see from that window. So that has been the main changes on that part.
Now we're walking into the biggest, the most visible renovation, and this is spectacular. It's contemporary.
You have to remember that here we had originally 8 panels, 18th century Versailles pieces, very historical. The challenge was to replace them, and as you can see, there is an idea of with the big windows of a communication between the outdoor and the indoor.
There are some parts of the home that have stayed traditional. This is a very contemporary section, if you will, of the French residence. You made it a point for that to happen, right? Yep. You didn't want the home to lose its integrity.
And especially, I couldn't imagine that room without the portrait of a young Washington. And speaking about tradition, you have seen that we have Rochambeau and Lafayette, who obviously stays to welcome our guests.
Yes.
This one is interesting because it stays traditional, but at the same time, it's completely new. And that rug is also an historical piece. I think it's from 1820.
You will allow 600 to 800 people walk on this rug from the 1800s?
So the challenge is at the same time to showcase the new decoration, but not to destroy everything in one night.
This is a spectacular room, and again, this is very contemporary.
It wasn't supposed to be modernized, but when I saw this vertical panel, I've been thinking that they will be too small for the dining room.
So this was part of the collection of the 4, the 2 that are at the top of the staircase. There's one here. Is there another one flanking the fireplace?
And the idea was really that the carpet was chosen by our architect designer from the ministry, really to match the tapestry. I wanted really the swimming pool area to be part of our options for having guests, having parties of a different nature.
It's marvelous. Your eyes just gravitate towards it.
Yesterday, I was cleaning the bamboo. because we were so...
You, the ambassador, were cleaning the bamboo.
I spent 5 hours cleaning the bamboo, the dead bamboo, because
See, just like everybody, people take solace in gardening.
If you look at my nose, I've still some...
What is your favorite part of this renovation? If you look at all the different spaces that have been redone, what's your favorite one?
If I put aside the art, I think I really like the opening here on the garden.
Aside from Bastille Day, we're also celebrating France in the World Cup, America 250, all rolled into one. It's going to be a good party.
I hope so.
Ambassador, a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you so very much.
The furniture, pieces, tapestries, and rugs that we saw in the story are all housed in a special conservation facility similar to the Smithsonian's off-site storage. Between the French Embassy and the residents, they hold approximately 600 events there every single year. Stick around. The News 4 Rundown. We'll be right back. Prince George's County will soon have another brand new school. Officials broke ground on the new Jane C. Duckworth Elementary School in Upper Marlboro today. Once it's completed, the 94,000 square foot school will accommodate up to 700 students from pre-K through 5th grade, with an emphasis on special education students.
In Prince George's County Public Schools, special education will not be an afterthought. It is a fundamental commitment. This new school will carry that commitment forward with specialized CRI classrooms designed to support students with diverse needs and ensuring that every learner is seen, valued, and empowered.
The school is all part of a public-private partnership to bring 8 new schools to Prince George's County by 2028. Finally tonight, there is good news to share about a local effort to provide essential care items to families in need. News 4's Millette Green shares an update on a community campaign to collect thousands of diapers and baby wipes.
We first told you about this ambitious goal earlier this month, collecting 10,000 diapers and 10,000 wipes, all to support unhoused mothers and their babies. We're happy to share this update. The nonprofit known as DMV Does Good surpassed their goal ahead of this week's deadline. They gathered more than 10,000 diapers and nearly 15,000 wipes, all thanks to you in the community. The group works every day to tackle poverty, housing, and food insecurity, and they believe that this campaign will help so many families.
You know, when a parent is bringing a child in this world, it is a joyous milestone.
Yes, it is.
Right? But unfortunately, we have thousands of people here in the district that, you know, they're dealing with the financial strains, the emotional strains, logistical issues. And so just a simplistic act of giving diapers and wipes go a long way. And it's not just an act of charity. It is a public health imperative to do this.
Yes.
So we're looking at identifying 3 different shelters that serve women and children. We've identified one in Prince George's County. Once we get done with the campaign, we will be delivering these items to these 3 shelters that serve these women and children.
And you know those diapers and wipes go by fast, so it's not too late to support this mission. If you would like to make a donation, head to the website that's on your screen, dmvdoesgood.org.
Love to see everybody doing good. Millette, thank you. And thank you so much for joining the News 4 Rundown on this Tuesday night. We hope you stay cool out there because it is hot, and Doug says it's going to be about 10 degrees hotter tomorrow. We hope that you will join Jim and me back here tonight for News 4 at 11. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock.